Dear grade 12 students, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to a new English video lesson in which we are going to focus on practicing two extremely valuable reading skills through the first lesson in Module 8. To begin the lesson, make sure you have your Portal to English Students book opened at pages 112 and 113. The goal for today's lesson is to demonstrate the ability to identify the common theme across multiple texts and to scan texts for specific information. So let's start. First, let's warm up with this short talk activity. There is a quotation which says, "Don't believe everything you hear or see. There are always three sides to a story: yours, theirs, and the truth." Do you agree with this quote? Actually, things are not always what they seem, so we shouldn't rush into accepting everything we hear or see without questioning it first. I agree with the quote because I believe that sometimes the truth can have various interpretations, so we must be able to distinguish between facts and opinions. Now let's start our discussion. Jassim, how accurate do you think advertisements and commercials are? I'd say that advertisements and commercials are usually not very accurate, and they tend to exaggerate certain qualities of a featured product. Additionally, they don't mention the negative aspects of the product. So, how much do advertisements and commercials influence you? Advertisements and commercials influence me up to a certain point. It is true that advertisements aim to persuade us to buy. That's why they rely on the power of words. They also rely on appealing visual effects that will draw viewers' interest. I may be impressed by the advertisement's creativity, but in the end, I won't buy the product if I don't really need it or if it is expensive. Let us now learn how to identify the common theme across a number of texts. It is said that determining a common theme requires more deep understanding of what you're reading. Now let's analyze the content of four texts to determine the overarching concept. Here we go with a question which says, quickly read through texts from A to D. What do they all have in common? We have four texts on pages 112 and 113. The first text is a company email. The second is a letter of complaint. The third is an article. And the fourth is a poster about a seminar. Now let's read and listen to the four texts.
A. Dear Pete, this is the ad our team created for Flash Foods in response to the recent criticism from health-conscious consumers that claimed Flash Foods are indifferent towards national health concerns. We believe our ad to relaunch our client's product will be highly successful. Let me know what you think. It should be ready in time for our marketing seminar on the 5th of March. Flash Foods is proud to present a new, delicious and nutritious chicken sandwich sensation, 100% fresh. The sandwich which provides all the energy you need for your active lifestyle. Juicy chicken fillet, garden fresh lettuce, slices of sun-ripened tomato, and crunchy onions between whole grain bread. Like this healthy choice so much you can't get enough? Well, we'll give you the second one half price. Tim, Gem Marketing Solutions.
B. To the manager of Flash Foods. I am writing to express my disapproval of the advertising campaign which has recently been launched by your company. I have enclosed the flyer which was handed to me yesterday advertising the new chicken sandwich. I must admit I went against my instincts and decided to order this delicious-looking sandwich. Imagine my surprise when I opened the box to find a slice of tomato and a piece of undercooked chicken squashed between two thin pieces of processed bread. There was nothing delicious and nutritious about it, despite the claims on your flyer. I have also enclosed a photograph of what I was given. Do you find it looks similar in any way to the product you are advertising? To prevent customers from falling for this deception, which is based on an inaccurate picture of your chicken sandwich sensation, I am asking that you drop this misleading advertisement immediately. If I continue to see these flyers, I will pursue legal action. Sincerely, Miranda Gilbert. C.
Shampoo cereal, anyone? The marketing industry has at its disposal numerous ways of deceiving consumers. When it comes to food marketing, this becomes more apparent, as what we see advertised is more likely to be a work of art than actual cooking. Marketers want food to look flawless for the photo shoot, so they do whatever it takes. They coat pancakes with hairspray to keep the topping shiny and in place. They use motor oil instead of syrup because it reflects light better, and they use bright white shampoo instead of milk. Sometimes food is recreated from other materials. A natural apple pie will crumble when sliced, but on TV it must, for reasons unknown, be made to fall into perfect slices. So they use artificially coloured mashed potato, and the crumbs disappear. When real food is used, it is almost always digitally edited beyond recognition, enlarged with the colours altered and brightened to make it look fresher. What will manufacturers do when consumers begin to demand food that is as perfect as the artificial food they are used to seeing in advertisements?
D.
Marketing Seminar, sponsored by GEM Marketing Solutions. Persuading the Public, with Professor Jane Patrick from Hartford University, who will present the basics of food advertising in the following talks. Eating in the dark. The role visuals play in our appetite. Selling a smell. Ways retailers use smells to their advantage. Color mind control. Stimulating appetite through color choice. The language of flavor. When words are more important than taste. Wednesday, the 5th of March, 11 a.m., Valley Conference Center.
Now, after we have listened to the four texts, let's decide what is the common theme across the four texts. Let's first read the question. What do they all have in common? Yes, everybody has noticed that all four texts are thematically linked to food advertising. All the texts are related to food marketing and food advertising. Now let's move to the second objective of today's lesson, which is scanning the text to find some specific information that are being asked for in the questions. So let's go. Now it's our turn to navigate the four texts in order to find answers for questions on page number 113, and it is exercise C, which is saying read texts from A to D again and answer the questions. Now let's start with the first question in exercise C, which is asking us to refer to section A. Section A is the company email. Let's read the question. Why did Flash Foods decide to have a new advertisement created? So the question is asking us about the reasons behind creating a new advertisement. Let's read the options. Letter A, to advertise a new product. B, to inform people about a special offer. C, to describe the ingredients of a product. Or letter D, to persuade people that their products are healthy. In order to answer this question, let's read the first part in the company email, which says, this is the ad our team created for Flash Foods in response to the recent criticism from health-conscious consumers that claimed Flash Foods are indifferent towards national health concerns. From this, we can understand that they created this ad in order to combat the kind of criticism they received from consumers who were conscious about health issues. So the answer for this question would be letter D, The answer is to persuade people that their products are healthy. And if we read, of course, the advertisement, we can know that they are focusing on how to highlight the healthy ingredients that they put inside the sensation sandwich. And now let's go to question number 2 in exercise C, which is asking us to refer to section B, the letter of complaint by Miranda Gilbert. The question says, which of the following is probably true about Miranda Gilbert? Letter A, she is a lawyer. Letter B, she avoids eating fast foods. Letter C, she works in the health industry. Or letter D, she is a regular customer at fast food restaurants. In order to answer this question, we will read the part in the middle in which Miranda says, I must admit I went against my instincts and decided to order this delicious looking sandwich. So here, the words imply that she didn't like to order any kind of fast foods, but the flyer in which she saw the delicious looking sandwich made her change her mind. So the thing that is true about Miranda is letter B, which is she avoids eating fast foods, or she doesn't like to eat fast foods because they are not healthy. Moving to question number 3 in exercise C, we will find that it is asking us to refer to section B, again the letter of complaint by Miranda Gilbert, and the question says, what is Miranda asking Flash Foods to do? So they ask now about the action that she desires the company to do. Let's read the options. Option A, to stop selling the product. B, to make their chicken sandwich healthier. C, to improve their sandwich so it looks like the advert. Or letter D, to stop promoting the product through an incorrect representation of it. In her letter of complaint, Miranda tried to express her anger concerning her terrible experience with the sensation sandwich, and in the conclusion, she stated the action that she desires the company to take. And here in the conclusion, we can read, I am asking that you drop this misleading advertisement immediately. So she's asking the company to stop promoting the product through an incorrect representation of it, because she thinks that the advertisement is totally different from the reality of the sandwich. So the letter D is going to be the answer for this question. Now let's move to question number 4 in exercise C, which is asking us to refer to section C, the text which is an article. And let's read the question. What does the word this in line number 3 refer to? The options are letter A, the necessity of using tricks. B, the importance of food marketing. C, the extent of misleading advertising. Or D, the number of consumers who are tricked. In order to find what does the word this refer to, we need to read the preceding sentence as well as the sentence that contains the word this. So here in the article, the writer says that the marketing industry has at its disposal numerous ways of deceiving consumers. When it comes to food marketing, this becomes more apparent. So the word this refers to what? To deceiving consumers. What's near that in the options in the question? Of course, it is going to be letter C, the extent of misleading advertising, or the number of misleading advertising. Question number 5 is again asking us to refer to section C, the article, and the question says, what does the writer imply about marketers? The options are A, they don't want viewers to know their tricks. B, they stop at nothing for the appearance of perfection. C, they prefer to use digital editing only as a last resort. Or letter D, they want consumers to recognize the food advertised straight away. Now let's see how can we answer this question. We should look at the part that is talking about what marketers are trying to do. Here in the second paragraph, the writer is saying that marketers want food to look flawless for the photo shoot, so they do whatever it takes. They coat pancakes with hairspray to keep the toppings shiny and in place. They use motor oil instead of syrup because it reflects light better, and they use bright white shampoo instead of milk. Now, this implies that the marketers are stopping at nothing for the appearance of perfection. They do whatever it takes. What does it mean they do whatever it takes? They do anything to make the food look flawless and look very perfect. Now, going to question number 6 in the exercise. We will go now to section D, which is the poster for the seminar. And the question says, which of the following will not be discussed in the seminar? So when we are answering this question, we need to look at something that is not mentioned. So everything that is mentioned is a wrong answer. Let's read the options. A, increasing sales with smells. B, attractive food presentation. C, effective descriptive language. Or D, how to influence a specific group of people. So now we will read the things included in the poster and consider them wrong answers. First, the poster is telling us the role visuals play in our appetite. So here it is talking about visuals, things that the eye will see. So letter B is going to be a wrong answer because it is talking about attractive food presentation. And also selling in the poster, selling a smell. So letter A is going to be a wrong answer, increasing sales with smells. After smells, it is talking about the language of flavor, when words are more important than taste. So it's talking about the language. So letter C is also going to be a wrong answer, effective descriptive language. So the answer for this question is going to be letter D, how to influence a specific group of people. This is not mentioned in the poster. Now let's go to the final question in exercise C, which is asking us to refer to all sections, the 4 texts. And the question says, which texts refer to the language used in an advertisement? Letter A, all sections. Letter B, sections A and B. Letter C, sections B and D. Or letter D, sections C and D. Let's see. If we look at text B, we will find that it is referring to the language that is used in an advertisement because it says advertising campaign, flyer, delicious and nutritious. These words are being used in the language of the advertisements. And if we also look at text D, we will find the words food advertising, visuals, and the language of flavor. Here also, the poster is referring to the language used in advertisements. So our answer for this question is going to be B and D. And B and D is going to be letter C, sections B and D. Thank you for watching the complete video. You will find it available on your accounts on Microsoft Teams, where you can stream it anytime. Have a great day. Goodbye.